So what does it mean to adopt an adversarial mindset? For most of you had some sort of event or moment in your life that changed the way that you looked at things, in particular security and your own place in the world. For some people that was Columbine, 9/11, getting assaulted yourself out in the street or in your own home or somewhere else. For some people, it just happened with the most recent attack on Israel by Hamas and the atrocities and terrible things that are coming out of that event. It's a big wake-up call to you personally when this sort of thing hits you for the first time. And for a number of you, that's what's happening to you right now. You are waking up and seeing the world in a much different way than you did before. Even if it's something that didn't directly happen to you, but you experienced second or third hand. What you're seeing now is the world in a different light than you've ever seen it before. And you're starting to, whether you know it or not, adopt an adversarial mindset. So what does that mean? What does it mean to have an adversarial mindset? So once you start to adopt an adversarial mindset, it's going to change the way that you look at the world and your place in it. So no longer are you going to be able to just go about your normal life without thinking about security concerns. They're going to be top of your mind a lot of the time. And at first, this is going to be really discomforting for you. You're not used to doing this, so you're going to see that you're exposed in all sorts of places that you weren't before. This is going to start you down a process of improving your position in regards to those security risks over time. So we'll take the example of going to eat out at a diner, right? Let's say that before you had this moment where you started to look at the world with an adversarial mindset, you might go to a diner, sit down with whatever table you get seated with a group of friends or family, and you don't really think about where the doors are, the exits, the potential threats in that room. You just go about your day having your breakfast or brunch or whatever it is at the diner, pay for your check, leave, right? But now, having adopted an adversarial mindset, you're going to look at that same experience differently. You're going to look at where the potential threats might come at you from. And the first thing that you're going to notice is, all right, well, people come in and out of that front door. So how should I position myself so that I can see potential threats coming in that door or be hidden from them? And for the most part, that's going to mean that you're going to try and pick a seat in that diner that has you facing that door in a way that you can observe threats as they're coming in. So now you've adopted your adversarial mindset. You're sitting in your diner, in the booth, facing the door that you came in at. You know the exits because you took note of them when you went to the bathroom, so you know your alternate exits. And you're starting to formulate a plan, which is a threat comes through that door. I'm going to get the people I'm with, my family, loved ones, friends, I'm going to get them out to an alternate exit point out the back. And you're starting to change your behavior at this point to where you're positioning yourself maybe closer to that exit to where you can see threats coming in the front door, but you also have an easy out through the back door or through a side door. And then you start to go from there. So this process is just going to continue on where now you're going to think, all right, well, what if I can't get out one of those back doors so there's not an alternate exit? Now I'm confronted with a situation where I have to deal with that threat. I have to contend with it. So in the case of, say, an active shooter comes through the front door of that diner, and what are you going to do, right? If the exits aren't available or they're blocked for whatever reason, if you call the police, it's going to take too long, right? It's going to take 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes before they respond, and that incident is unfolding in real time at your location. So what are you going to do there? Well, that's when you get to the point of, all right, how do I defend myself and my family and my loved ones and my friends from those threats that could come in that door? That's when you look at getting a pistol, getting training, getting a CPL, and starting to provide that own security for yourself and for those around you. And the thing is that this adversarial mindset, once it's adopted, not just by yourself, but by others in your community and other people around you, even if you don't know who they are, just the sheer fact of having them around will also increase your security. So now it's not just you in the diner protecting yourself and your family, but there's 4 or 5 other guys just like you that are doing that for their friends and their family. So now with this adversarial mindset in mind, and a number of people having adopted it, when that potential shooter or threat comes in the door, that adversary, they're not looking at a soft target anymore. It's now a hard target, and it's going to respond and react to them coming in a manner that is going to end that engagement very quickly. And that's what you basically want to have happen if you're the protector, playing that protector role. So now you've adopted this adversarial mindset, and you've started down this path of understanding security gaps and understanding that you have to be providing your own security for yourself and for those around you. Things are going to change significantly from this point forward, and most of you that are watching this video are already on this path. You're watching this video, that means that you have likely already had some incident, maybe recent news, that has changed the way that you look at the world, and now you are under the understanding that you need to be providing your own security. So far we've talked about adversarial mindset in terms of what you're going to do in reaction to a potential adversary. But what adopting an adversarial mindset or a criminal mindset really means is that you start to think like your adversary, or you think like that criminal some of the time. You put yourself in their shoes, right? So as you progress down this path, not only are you looking at what protective actions you can take as a protector for yourself, your family, your loved ones, the people around you, but you're also going to start analyzing situations through the lens of the adversary that you're concerned about. Now, for a lot of people, that may have been criminal actions in the past, but maybe it's also terrorist attacks and war and things of that nature. Now you're going to start thinking, when you enter into, let's say, our diner example again, when you enter into that diner, you're not just thinking about it in terms of where am I going to put myself protectively in that room and best position myself for potential adversaries, but you're going to think, if I'm an adversary coming in to this diner and I'm looking to do, whatever your kind of demographic or situation is, harm, then what am I going to do, right? So you put yourself kind of in the seat of the criminal that's going to rob the place, or the active shooter that's going to try and do terrible things. This is a difficult thing for a lot of people to do, in that it requires you a little bit to understand the psychology of those sorts of people, and for some of us that's almost incomprehensible. I can't say that I can particularly do that for the recent attacks by Hamas in Israel, right? I just can't put myself in that mindset to really think about why you would do that sort of a thing. But still, I can kind of create some sort of a character of what that person might be, and look at some past actions and see what sorts of things those people might do in a the place or the situation that I'm in. And that's what adopting an adversarial mindset is. It's not just the protective end of it, but it's also looking at the world through the lens of your adversary and thinking about what they would do to you, and then protecting yourself and those around you accordingly on the backside of that, in terms of what your reactions and what your defensive actions are going to be. And that's adversarial mindset. So get out there and train and adopt that adversarial mindset so that you can better prepare yourself for any situation that you might find yourself in.